Let's click on the thing. Nope. All right, there we go. Hello, friends. Hello to Angie. Okay, today's video is going to be just a teeny bit different because I'm going to show you a little bit of before and after, and I'm running late on my delivery. This is how you know that Megan doesn't do a whole bunch of content banking and build it up ahead of time. So we're going to look at Meg Shoemaker's portfolio, and we're going to take a look at it before we work together and after we work together. So let me minimize this. Just kidding. Apparently I cannot minimize. Oh, if you double click, that works. Okay, cool. So what you should see here are three of large screenshots of the full length of the case study. And this should probably feel pretty familiar to you because this is exactly what has been taught to you in a boot camp. Let me expand this just a little bit. This is the Trapped Downtown. It is a portfolio project regarding an escape room experience. And the title is Unlock More Bookings. Okay, I cannot seem to get this perfect. Okay, there we go. Unlocking More Bookings, updating the Trapped Downtown user experience. That is describing what you're about to see. It's a escape room. It's freelance and it's entertainment. We talk about the challenge, the goal, and the process. We've got lots of words. And then we add those things like role, tools, and when, how long it took, etc. And if you've watched any of my videos before, you probably know that I tell you no one cares how long it took for you to do a project. And also, you don't provide enough context just by saying, well, it took 5 weeks. Is that 5 weeks at 5 hours a week? Is it 5 weeks at 50 hours a week? Is it 5 weeks at 100 hours a week? I'm trying to remember how many hours are in a week. It's 168 in case you're wondering. The context really matters, and yet it's also not the most important information on these portfolio case studies. We jump into research. What are people seeing? This is actually helpful because the headlines are descriptive, but what does that help the hiring manager find out about what you did? No, it's saying you're understanding what people see. And that does not describe to us, the hiring managers, how you're able to make a decision. So you've evaluated the current experience. How do they think, feel, and do, or what do they think, feel, and do when booking events in advance? We've got, I'm guessing, oh, this is an empathy map. Got it. We've got some layout for the IA, the information architecture. How are we going to organize this website? Patterns for a streamlined sitemap. Like, all of this is not necessarily selling your skills. It's showing me that you know how to describe what you did, which is great. And that is necessary for a part of the process. So we've got building a new sitemap, and now we've got bringing the stakeholders along, sketching the wireframes to be mobile first. This is good, but again, it's not showing me how you make decisions. And essentially what the hiring manager wants to know right away is, how are you going to fit on the team? Will you bring tools and skills that my existing team doesn't have? Can you coach anyone? Can someone coach you? How are you going to help me meet my initiatives? Because as a business, as a hiring manager, as someone who is part of moving this organization towards progress, we want to know, can you help me meet those initiatives? So we're seeing a ton of stuff, but it is still not helping me understand whether or not Meg is going to be good for this job. And then we also, at the end, we've got some learnings that's helpful. No call to action for that hiring manager to give you a call. So I'm going to minimize that, and then I'm going to bring this one up forward because this is the one we're really going to look at. So Little Cup is another portfolio project. This one right here, if I zoom in, Rebuilding Trust is the name. Designing the Richfield 4th of July website. We've got a nice visual of what's going on here. Once again, the role and the tools and the when, the challenge, the goal, and the process. And this has maybe had some updates since we talked. Ooh, hold on. Just had a massive sneeze. Okay, wow, that was crazy. All right, so we talk about what the competitive analysis, it sparks a transformation. A transformation towards what? That feels very ChatGPT-ish. Meeting the users where they are, learning action, understanding our users. Like, I like this, but it's not helping me understand whether or not Meg is a good hire. Seeking a retro and patriotic feel. So now we got UI in here. Meg's not a UI designer. So this is all interesting, but it does not necessarily help me understand what value you're going to bring. So I helped Meg. Meg was one of the winners of my giveaway for a month of UX performance coaching. And my performance coaching is just a name I've given to it because essentially I'm just meeting you where you are and everything else doesn't matter. All right, let's take a look at these websites. Now I just realized I can't change from full screen to whatever. We'll figure it out. Okay. Hello. Is that it? Oh, look, I can make myself bigger. This is a huge screen that we're looking at here. All right, so I want to see a little bit more details about Meg up here. So my first suggestion is tell me more about like your history. So what's interesting is Meg has already worked at IDEO, which is a huge design agency, extremely well known. You probably have heard of IDEO, that they created design thinking, and yet Meg's not mentioning that, and I don't know why. So yes, Meg did not work as a designer for IDEO back in whenever she worked there, but she actually worked in HR there. And I think there's an opportunity here to say not just, hi, I'm Meg, I'm a UX designer based in Minneapolis, but I have some embedded knowledge from working at a design agency that I think would be very valuable. And my HR background helps me understand people. So something like that, what I think would be appropriate to replace this. Okay, and then we have 3 projects on here. I know she's working on a 4th one, which is really exciting, but this is what I wanted to show you was the rebuilding trust with the community after financial scandal. So rebuilding trust did not help me understand what matters about this project, and rebuilding trust with the community after financial scandal. I don't know about you, but that makes me want to click into this. That is very interesting. If nothing else, I am deeply nosy and I would like to know what that means. So notice that updating the trapped downtown user experience is now saying finding clues and solving puzzles to unlock more bookings. This is the kind of marketing headline that will make someone click into your portfolio project. This is where I want to see more details. Sometimes, and I do admit, like I do like to see this is a UX project, this is a UI project, this is an end-to-end product design project, something like that. I do want some context about what kind of project it is. It depends because I might be hiring a UX designer with some UI skills on my team, and I might just be hiring a very junior UX designer, and I don't want to see your UI work. It's not necessary to my needs. So it's important to make it desirable. Make the hiring manager want to click on your portfolio project. It is meant to be compelling. This entire website for Meg and for you, your portfolio website, is a calling card. It is a business card. It is a marketing flyer. It is a marketing website. It's whatever you want to call it, but you are marketing yourself to that hiring manager and you want them to see you as valuable, pick you up off the shelf, put you in their cart and take you to checkout where they offer you a job. Like that is all your website, your portfolio website needs to accomplish for you, is to market your skills. So make it a little more marketing. Does this mean that you now have to learn and understand a little bit about marketing? Yeah, but not a lot. Like think about human behaviors. So make it so that they want to click on one of your case studies. That headline also sets the tone for the rest of the project. So rebuilding trust with the community after financial scandal. What is this? We got a volunteer project. It's in the community. It's based on events. Again, I would call out like, is this UX or UI? I know it's website building. So this is website design and development, not necessarily UX design, and that's okay. So I love seeing a big picture of the final product. Ideally, it is something like this where it feels like a human has been in the image. It allows the hiring manager to see themselves interacting with this design. It is, again, just a psychological thing. Now, I'm actually going to pull this a little tighter. Meg, you've got a lot of wideness on the lines, and it makes the line length really hard to read. So I would probably, regardless of how big the screen gets, I would cap the width of your content. In fact, depending on how you've built this, okay, wow, I was digging around. Sorry for all my throat clearing. It's so gross. Depending on what this is, if this is a container, main class, what I would be looking for. Yeah, div class, I would look at max width. Instead of doing just a min width, I'd do a max width of probably like maybe 1,000 pixels, just to make sure that we don't have too much room that is falling off the edges. All right, so what I guided Meg to do is to reduce the information on her portfolio to only the essential. What is going to help guide a hiring manager through this process, see your value, and then call you. So I want to see the challenge. And this also follows the, had to pause it for a sec while I went and found this email. If you have not followed Jeff White on LinkedIn and checked out his UX storytelling course, you should do that. Okay, what is going on with my throat? I don't know. Okay. He has the basic structure of your case study, and I think that we are following this. So it's context, struggle, transformation. What's the story? What are we doing here? Who's in not in charge? Who's involved? What's happening? What needs to happen? What are their goals? Like, what's the context? Tell me what's going on. The type of product, the industry. Keep it very simple. Too much context is overwhelming. Struggle. This is the heart of it. This is the challenge. What are they facing? The people that are impacted by this website or trying to use this website, what are they facing that is frustrating to them that facilitated needing to do this redesign or to create this product? And then transformation. Show how your work solved the problem. Oh my God. Oh, I was like, I thought he had a card deck. Y'all, I got excited. Okay. Show how your solution alleviated the pain points that you identified in the struggle section. So if you're not part of Jeff White's newsletter, like you should be, because he does provide really valuable information. I think the course is $150, and I think somewhere there's like a 10% off code. Beyond UX has a 10% off code. I swear I've shared it in my Patreon before. I can find that for the context of this, but it doesn't matter. Context, struggle, transformation. Let's go. So we've got the challenge. This is our context. This is also giving every single thing that Jeff has just asked for at the top of the screen. It saves the hiring manager time. It ensures that they get exactly what they need out of taking the time to review your case study, and then helps present you as someone who doesn't waste people's time, who gets to the point quickly, and who helps people find what they're looking for. So the challenge is the volunteer committee needs to raise funds for this year's celebration. There was a hiatus because the previous leader may have stole those funds. Amongst COVID-19, the committee needs to just rebuild trust with the community. That's a tall order. That's a big challenge. How do we know how to do that? So the process is the things that you did that are skills that can and methods that fit on a team. So we interviewed, that is qualitative research. We interviewed community members, conducted competitive analysis, identified the actionable insights, designed low fidelity wireframes, and built a Squarespace site. This right here is rapid prototyping. You are demonstrating that you know what needs to go on the website. We don't need to do high fidelity designs when we're going to build on Squarespace. These are the things you want. Great. I'm going to use the tools that are baked into Squarespace because it's easier to maintain. Nobody needs to rebuild something from scratch if all we need to do is adjust what's on here. The biggest thing that I learned in probably my first year as a designer was don't reinvent the wheel. There is no need to build something from scratch, which is why it's a little bananas that you allegedly need to know so much HTML and CSS. Nobody is building websites from scratch these days. It's really not worth the time. Sometimes it is for one-off kind of things. Maybe your portfolio is appropriate for that. But most of the time, the professional websites that we're developing or building are being built on some sort of platform that makes it easier for whoever's going to manage, because you're probably not offering hi, I'll maintain and manage your website for the next 6 years. That's not a service that you're offering as an early career designer. So keep that in mind. And it's totally okay to be like, I built it on Squarespace. Y'all, that is almost no one needs something super custom. All right, and then the outcome. What is the transformation that you achieved? The site went live. Obviously, you built the site and empowered the committee to raise funds from local businesses and community members. It was attended by an estimated 50,000 people. Those are people who saw this website and came to the event, and it was re-engaged. The community was re-engaged with the event. Now you've told the story. But now if I want to learn more about your process and how that outcome impacted the community, now I can scroll down more. But I've gotten everything that I need from you, Meg. I know what I am potentially looking for when I reach out and schedule an interview. All right, so the next part, and this is, I also want to show you context because I have sent people to this repeatedly. Catalyte is where I point people. This particular case study, just because I love it, it's Nike. Everybody recognizes Nike. Catalyte transformed Nike into a digital-first brand with development of the Fuel Band. Now that is up there with rebuilding trust with the community after financial scandal. That makes me want to scroll down more. Nike is just the brand name recognition. The actual title here is the Catalyte, this agency, transformed Nike into a digital-first brand. Then we have the challenge and the outcome. I love this. Then we have like an interesting call out or some kind of context setting. And then we show 3 really interesting things as a result, like that you should know for context of this project. Then we show some key takeaways and we include those key technologies and skills. This is an agency that is trying to promote its talent, the developers that they work with or that they hire to provide this kind of experience. This is a marketing case study, and I want your case study to look like that too. So what Meg did here is we've got headlines that tell the story so that if a hiring manager is just scanning headlines, they understand what they're looking at. And again, they can dip in or out of the details as they see fit. So the big 3 things we have here are competitive analysis identifies impactful features. We figured out what we needed to do. I don't even need to read the rest of this because I understand that we did competitive analysis to figure out what needs to actually go on this website. What are other neighborhoods doing in order to build this website? We just want to see what other humans, citizens find interesting about that. The next one is knowing our community equals knowing our goals. What does that mean? That probably means she did research and they actually went to the Richfield community Facebook page and they asked 1 survey question a week. Like this was very intentional to re-engage people, to do some user interest surveys, some user ideation, but to keep it super easy to process. And then she did keep a couple of visuals because I get it, like this case study does feel a little bit dry when it's just words, so let's break it up a little bit. We needed to rebuild trust, build awareness, and serve multiple audiences. And then we've got setting the tone for a community-led engaging event. So with those goals in mind, I built the highest priority pages of the website, included images, highlighted a photo and letter, kept the donate call to action. Like this is all valuable and it leads back to I understand what this business or organization needs and how to serve that while still serving the users. And then my favorite is the impact. Everything was set for a successful event. Mother Nature provided a downpour. So unfortunately, they were not able to set off all those fireworks, but here's something interesting. The website had 23,000 unique visitors in the month leading up to the event. That's a 10x increase from the previous 7 months. About 2,000 visitors visited over 7 months before that website redesign. That's impact. The event attracted 19 sponsors and collected many private donations. About 50,000 attendees participated in the 1.5 days of planned events before the last-minute cancellation of the fireworks. That's a huge deal. You're not able to say, well, they made billions of money. You didn't have access to that information, but you can still show that it had an impact. That's that transformation. And then the key takeaways, project planning. I learned the importance and power of planning for staged release of information on an event-based website. We were able to build the MVP without getting bogged down by waiting for details. Yes, that shows that you are able to keep moving forward without just saying, oh, this one blocker, I'm just unable to do anything and move forward, which is what a lot of people do. So it shows resourcefulness and the resiliency to go, okay, what can I do? And then engaging the community. We engage throughout the process to ensure we're meeting their needs and building awareness. Then we include those competitive analysis, Figma, research plan development, Squarespace, survey management and analysis, wireframing. And then curious to learn more, let's connect. She's got her LinkedIn linked here, and it is honestly one of the tightest and happiest case studies I've seen. That took me, if I wasn't talking at you, it would take me maybe 5 minutes to read. And remember, the hiring managers only look at your case studies for 30 seconds, 2 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. Get to the point. They don't want to see all of the deliverables, all of the outputs that you created. They want to understand the outcome. All that kitchen sink work with all of the outputs and all of the visuals that you've ever made, that's what goes in your process, your portfolio presentation, that you sit in front of the team that you are hopefully about to work with and you show them how you went through the process. But don't waste their time when they're trying to get in and get out and get an interview on the books. So help them call you for an interview and not hire you based on absolutely every thought you've ever had as a result of this project. That's for later. So that also ties into the two different types of portfolio case study that you need to have. One is the marketing case study, the highlight reel of the essentials that you did, and the other one is actually meant to be a slide deck that you're going to show as you work through the interview process. All right, hopefully this was tight and helpful, and you are able to take some details away from this and apply them to your own case study. Thanks so much. I will talk to you next time. All right, bye.